Ken Whiting with Paddle TV with yet another video about kayaks. And in this video, I'm talking about lightweight kayaks because you know what? One of the biggest problems, one of the only problems with kayaking is getting kayaks around, which is why portable kayaks have gained traction and become more popular. Having a lightweight portable kayak or a lightweight full-size kayak, it can make a real big difference in your life. For many people, it can mean the difference between actually being a paddler and not being a paddler. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about a number of kayaks of different styles, some high performing, some recreational, some inexpensive, some expensive. These are all kayaks that I've tested and reviewed and I think are worth special mention. So let's dive right into it. Some great lightweight kayaks that you should consider. Now, portable kayaks are great for people that either need or want a kayak that's easy to transport and to store. They maybe just don't have space to transport or store the kayak. But the other nice thing about portable kayaks is that they can be very lightweight. And the Sea Eagle Easy Light 10 is one that stands out. At 28 pounds or 12.5 kilos, the Easy Light 10 is one of the lightest and most packable solo kayaks there is. But it's also surprisingly high performing and fun to paddle because it's made with drop stitch construction and it features a V-bottom hull. The drop stitch construction allows you to pump the kayak up to 10 psi, and this makes the kayak very rigid so that it feels more like a hard shell kayak when you paddle it. The V-bottom hull is unique for inflatable kayaks, as most inflatable kayaks have flat hulls. The hull makes the kayak track much better and faster and is more fun to paddle. The Easy Light 10 also has a quality seat and solid foot pegs, which make it more comfortable, and a removable skeg and a safety layer covering the hull for added durability. Although the Easy Light can handle some light chop and small waves, it's primarily a flat water kayak. Retailing for under $1,000, it's also one of the best value kayaks on the market. Next up, we've got the Delta 15.5 GT. Now, the 15.5 GT is a touring kayak that's designed to provide a good balance of stability but performance as well. It's great for day touring or multi-day trips because it has so much storage space for carrying gear. The 15.5 GT weighs in at 49 pounds or 22 kilos, which may not sound super light, but it is very light for a 15.5-foot long kayak with so many features. The reason the 15.5 GT is light is due to how it's made. It's a thermoformed kayak. Thermoforming creates a light and stiff kayak that feels great to paddle. The downside is that thermoformed plastic kayaks aren't as durable as the standard rotomolded plastic kayak. And so if you want a kayak that you can drag around and bash into rocks with, this isn't the right one. With a retail price of $2,300 US, the 15.5 GT isn't a cheap kayak, but it's one of the most affordable kayaks in its class. It's ideally suited for beginner to expert paddlers who want a stable, high-performing, and versatile touring kayak for day trips or multi-day trips. It's for someone who's willing to pay a small premium for a lightweight kayak, but doesn't want to pay the heavy premium for a carbon or Kevlar kayak. Next up, we've got the Hurricane Osprey 120 sit-on-top kayak. Now, sit-on-top kayaks are some of the most popular kayaks on the market, but they also tend to be the heaviest. At 47 pounds or 22 kilos, the Hurricane Osprey proves that it doesn't need to be that way. So why is the Osprey so light? Because it's another thermoformed kayak. Now, one of the other benefits of thermoforming is it makes the kayak stiffer and smoother so that it glides through the water much better. To take advantage of this, Hurricane put an emphasis on creating a hull design that travels efficiently through the water. Once again, this isn't normal for sit-on-top kayaks, which largely prioritize stability without putting much attention to performance. The result is a sit-on-top kayak that's lightweight, stable, but fun to paddle. At $1,500, you do pay a small premium for these things, but that's to be expected. The Osprey 120 is ideally suited for paddlers who want a comfortable and stable kayak for day trips or kayak fishing. It's also for kayakers who have small to medium-sized dogs that they like to bring with them, thanks to the K9 comfort pad on the front deck of the kayak. Next up, we've got the Oru Kayak Inlet, which is another portable, lightweight kayak that you might be interested in if you're only going to be paddling in calm, flat water. At 20 pounds or 9 kilos, the Oru kayak is light enough for anyone to comfortably carry around. The Oru kayak is so light because of the material it's made from. It's like a heavy-duty cardboard sheet that folds like origami into the shape of a kayak. The inlet is quick to assemble and disassemble once you get the hang of it. And at $700 US, it's the least expensive kayak in this list. The limiting factor is that the inlet is only for flat water, and at 9 foot 6 inches long, the boat is far from fast. This is a boat to enjoy on short paddles in calm water. Now, if you're in the market for a light luxury touring kayak, whether you're a beginner or an expert paddler, the Melker Varmdo is definitely a boat to consider because it balances stability with performance. It's a versatile, all-round touring kayak that's happy doing flat water day trips or multi-day trips with rough conditions. It's also, hands down, one of the most beautiful kayaks in the world, and the only sustainably built kayak in the world, thanks to the use of cork, flax, and recycled plastic bottles instead of carbon and Kevlar. It also uses a plant-based resin and gel coat. The cork core model of the Varmdo is the lighter model, weighing in at only 44 pounds. And for a 14.5-foot touring kayak, that can definitely be considered lightweight. While not quite as lightweight, the trad core version is less expensive at $3,800 US, while the cork core version goes for around $5,000 US. Next up, we've got the Swift Cruiser 14.8. Now, the Cruiser 14.8 is a 14-foot, 8-inch long, lightweight pack boat that's made from carbon and Kevlar. It weighs only 24 to 30 pounds and costs between $3,600 and $4,100 US, depending on the layup that you get. Now, some people might call the Cruiser a canoe, but since it's got the outfitting to be paddled like a kayak and to be used with a kayak paddle, I think it's fair to include it in this list. Pack boats are designed to offer the best features of canoes and kayaks. Like a canoe, the open deck lets you take large canoe packs or barrels instead of needing to break your gear into tiny little dry bags like you do with a kayak. This makes it much easier to deal with when portaging. The pack boat also has a removable yoke, which makes carrying the boat very easy. Now, like a kayak, the low sitting position is very stable, and the use of a kayak paddle lets a solo paddler paddle more easily and powerfully and control the boat much better in windy conditions. Now, moving right along, we have another Delta kayak, this time a recreational kayak called the 12AR. Now, 12-foot recreational kayaks have been some of the most popular kayaks on the market, period. And that's why there's so many 12-foot kayaks to choose from. But Delta's 12AR stands out amongst them. For one, the Delta 12AR is thermoformed, like all of Delta kayaks. And this makes the boat 42 pounds or 19 kilos, which is about 20% lighter than the more typically rotomolded plastic kayaks of the same size. Now, secondly, the 12AR features a unique hull that starts with a bow designed to cut through the water effortlessly, which then turns into a catamaran-style hull. The result is a kayak that has very good forward speed and great stability, two things that don't often go together. The 12AR also features 2 bulkheads and 2 hatches, which is a great safety feature because only the center cockpit area of the kayak will swamp if you capsize. It also means there's lots of storage for kayak camping trips. Lastly, this kayak stands out because of its price. At $1,400 US, the 12AR isn't cheap, but it offers exceptional value for a lightweight kayak of its nature. If you're in the market for a touring or sea kayak that can handle any types of conditions and that's extremely playful for dancing around in waves or surf, then you might want to consider the P&H Ultralight Virgo. Made from carbon and Kevlar, the Ultralight Virgo is 15 feet long and 23 inches wide, and it's equally comfortable in the flat water and rough water. Now, when you buy it, you can decide what type of layup you want, and that determines its weight. The ultralight layup clocks in as low as 32 pounds or 14 kilos, which is crazy light for a 15-foot sea kayak. Because it's carbon Kevlar, it's still a really stiff boat to paddle, even though it's so light. The trade-off with going for an ultralight layup is that it's not going to take impact well, which I learned the hard way when I took this kayak down the rapids of the Ottawa River. Now, the ultralight Virgo has a retail price around $5,500 US in North America, but it's cheaper in Europe where it's made. Either way, it's not a cheap kayak. But that's the typical price for a high-quality carbon Kevlar sea kayak these days. And what I can tell you is that it's one of the most beautiful kayaks that you'll ever touch, and one of the most fun kayaks that you'll ever paddle. If the Virgo isn't interesting to you and you can afford a luxury kayak, but you want a longer sea kayak with more capacity so you can travel faster and fit more gear in for multi-day trips, then you should definitely look at the P&H Volan series of kayaks. The Volan comes in 4 sizes, so there's a perfect sized kayak for everyone. Now, I'm 6'2" and 200 pounds, and I fit well in both the Volan 160 and the 162, but the new 162 is a bit more comfortable for me. Like the Virgo, it's available in a variety of layups, including an ultralight layup. Now, the last boat I'm going to mention is once again a boat that some people may not call a kayak, but I think it's deserving enough of the term kayak, and it's certainly lightweight. It's the Hobie iTrek 9. Weighing in at only 36 pounds, what makes the iTrek so interesting is that it's a pedal kayak, and pedal kayaks are notorious for being heavy because of the added weight of the pedal drive system. On top of that, the iTrek is one of the most maneuverable and fun to pedal kayaks that I've ever tested. Using the hand control, the boat can literally turn on a dime. Lastly, the iTrek is also extremely comfortable thanks to the frame suspension seat. Now, pedal kayaks aren't for everyone, and the $2,500 price tag is going to be too steep for many. But for people interested in a lightweight pedal kayak for flat water cruising or fishing, this boat is a great option. Well, there you have it, a whole bunch of different lightweight kayaks that can make a real big difference in how much you enjoy the paddling experience. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Actually, please do leave comments down below, because I know there's all sorts of other awesome lightweight kayaks out there that I haven't tested and reviewed. Share your ideas for other lightweight kayaks that should be in this list and that probably I should go and test. Otherwise, subscribe to Paddle TV if you haven't already, and stay tuned because I got lots more paddling tips, gear reviews, and paddling adventures coming your way.